right, welcome back. This is episode 7. I can't even believe we're up to 7 of the Teacher Nerds podcast.
Flying by, Ron.
It's amazing. I'm Ron Nober.
I'm Joe DiPaolo.
I teach technology, 3rd grade through 8th grade.
And I'm a 3rd grade teacher.
And I gotta say, hope everybody's been enjoying the podcast so far, and I'm glad people are tuning back in.
Ron, it's been a lot of fun doing it, man.
It's amazing. I mean, it's like one of the highlights of my week, coming in on Fridays and doing this podcast.
Definitely.
So today we're going to talk about things you can try and plan to do for next year, ELA edition.
Woo, language arts.
Yeah. So let's get started with our 2 yes more, 1 no way. And it's going to be games, board games, Joe.
Board games, I'm all about it, Ron.
All right, Joe. So
Ron, let's hear you.
All right. So love playing board games with, especially my wife's family.
Okay.
Get a little intense at times. One of my all-time favorites is called Awkward Family Photos.
Oh, never heard of it.
There's a whole collection of these horrible family photos from maybe like the 80s, 70s.
Of Susan's family?
No, of just random families.
Okay.
It's a board game like you can go out and purchase. And you pick a photo, and then everyone has to either create a caption for the photo, has to create a magazine. If this photo were on a magazine, what would the title of the magazine be? It gets a little crazy at times.
I could imagine it could be a little mean, maybe.
Could be mean. Sometimes can be a little adult.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
All right.
It gets a little crazy.
PG-13.
Yeah, a little PG-13. And we're going to take some of our own personal awkward family photos.
Okay.
And throw them in.
You know, growing up in the 80s, I'm sure there's a lot of awkward family photos.
Ugly Bill Cosby sweaters, things like that.
Haircuts were probably...
Yeah, haircuts were good. A lot of mullets out there.
You know, I had a tail as a kid.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I was a grade school kid and, 83, 84, 85. Yeah, some of those photos are interesting.
I had a few stripes shaved into the side of my head.
Yeah, lightning bolts.
Yeah. So that's definitely one. And then another one played years ago. I haven't played it in a while, but it's called Balderdash.
Never heard of it.
And it is, you get a word and you create a fake definition for the word.
Okay. Oh, fun.
And so everybody creates a fake definition. They all get scrambled up. They get read out loud.
Okay.
Along with the actual definition for the word. And you see if you can get people to vote for yours.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool...
I've never heard of either one of those games.
It's a fun game to play. My no way, it's a no way because of length of time. Monopoly.
Oh, man.
It takes forever, days,
Well,
depending on who you're playing with, it can get intense.
Ron, I was just going to say, that's another board game that can get intense and people get upset.
Yep. So they're mine.
That's funny. That's a classic, too.
It is.
Well,
so what do you got?
Well, I guess I'll start off with your one no way. I do like Monopoly.
Okay. All right.
And it's funny, like a lot of times it is Stacy and Dylan playing and they do have to drag me in as far as sitting there and playing the game. But I do enjoy when we play Monopoly. But once again, people get upset.
Yeah.
And, if I won't say who, Dylan, if there's one member of our family, though, who is not doing extremely well, he does get upset.
All right, little flip the board over and walk away.
That's never happened. But it's been pretty close.
But yeah, all right.
My second, it's a toss up, but I'm gonna go with Chutes and Ladders.
Yeah, all right, yeah, Chutes and Ladders as a kid was awesome.
As a kid, it was probably one of my favorite board games. Just because it was easy and it could be over quick, or it could take a little bit of time, but not as long as Monopoly.
Right.
I hear you about Monopolies, and that's why there's times where I can easily walk away.
Right.
Because I don't invest.
Sometimes, you have to.
It's so long and drawn out.
Yep.
So my one no way is another favorite in my household, but I can't do it. Clue.
Yeah, I can get that.
I can't get into it, and it's who did what, where, with what, and
then who cares?
And and that's it. You know what? I remember watching the movie as a kid.
Yep.
And it was a fun kind of shticky movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game Clue I can't get into.
Yeah, I can see that.
But board games are fun,
Yeah,
you know,
oh, yeah.
and to
And you
play
know
as a
what?
family.
They're making a comeback. I just saw in Philly, in like the Northern Liberties section, I think, in
Okay.
that up and coming section.
Yep.
There is a board game cafe where you can go. They have food, they have drinks, and they have board game specialists who you go in and you tell them a little bit about yourselves and who you're there with,
And they suggest a game.
They suggest games, and they have thousands of games.
Oh wow, that's awesome. What's it called?
I don't know the name of it. I have to look it up.
Well, check it out.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty cool place, and they say they're popping up in cities all across the country now.
Okay.
Because it gets people talking. You're not on the game, video game wise. Right. You're interacting with people.
There's no screen time.
Exactly.
It's face to face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So pretty cool. Cool. All right. So let's get into our topic. Things to try for next year for ELA.
Here we go.
One that I like to use is kind of informational, but it's called Listenwise.
Okay.
They have free and paid versions. Their Listenwise is NPR curated content, and it's in the form of podcasts.
Okay.
Lasting only 3 to 6 minutes.
Perfect.
Right. Short time frame. You can actually, if for students, they have control over being able to slow the audio down if that helps them a little bit.
Okay.
There are categories, so it's kind of separated as English language arts, social studies, science, and current events.
Nice.
Like I said, it's free to share the audio link in Google Drive or Google Classroom, and when you pull it up as a teacher, there are discussion questions to have and kind of lead and comprehension questions.
Oh, perfect.
For listening.
Okay.
Now, when you get into the premium content, there's an interactive transcript, so the transcript kind of highlights as it's playing, the audio is playing, so the student can kind of read along and listen.
All right.
There are auto-graded quizzes at the end, and English language learner support.
Oh, that's nice. Great.
Yeah.
No, most definitely. Because a lot of times their biggest problem is the language. They don't have the deficit. Their deficit is a language and trying to understand and translate. So that's a nice advantage.
And I think it's more for middle school, but I'm sure there are some, if teachers take the time, go through and listen, you might be able to find something that's good for elementary, third, fourth grade.
So, and this will work across those standards, right?
Right. Yeah.
Language arts standards, science standards, social studies
listening,
standards,
comprehension, informational text. Because really, we're in a day and age where text isn't just a book anymore.
Most definitely.
Right? Text is listening to a podcast. Text is looking at a YouTube video or a National Geographic video for informational text.
So many ways to get it.
And I don't think it's fair to pigeonhole. You may have a student who maybe they don't read very well, but if they listen to an article, they can give you all the feedback you need and have a discussion on that article.
So this would really be perfect for a 20% time.
Yeah, it could be good for that.
20% time usage.
Differentiation of instruction.
There we go.
Right. Even sometimes, like you were talking about your playlists. Throw a Listenwise onto your playlist where they have to listen and answer some questions.
Yeah.
That are there. So Listenwise is good, and I have a clip.
Okay. Let's hear the clip.
Let's take a listen to the clip. It's this is of girls in baseball, so it's about the All-American Girl Baseball League.
Okay.
So you can hear it's right from NPR.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm even getting ideas now of having kids read a story about baseball, then go and have them listen to this, because that's,
So there you have that compatible text.
Most definitely. And what happened in here, what happened in here.
Yep.
Oh. So maybe there's your compared text.
Right. So we'll just go ahead and stop there. But that's a little taste of Listenwise. interviews with experts. And again, you could do an article about baseball, right? You could throw this in. You could throw a clip maybe from League of Their Own.
Oh, that's
right. Great movie.
Oh, Tom
Again,
Hanks.
I forget about that, but again, probably one of my top movies where if it's on, I can just throw it on and watch.
Most definitely, because there's what's the best quote from that movie?
There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, definitely something to take a look into.
Ron, and I know you said maybe more geared towards middle school, but
again, your
my head's spinning.
right?
Like I know I could use this, and I hate to keep saying it. These are things they have to do on their standardized testing and JSLA. They're going back and forth through different contexts and talking about both. So now giving them the opportunity to do it with
high interest,
different outlets. Not just reading this book, then reading this book.
Right.
This is just a different way to hit it, and you're hitting those 21st century skills that these kids have already.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah. So I love that one. Again, teaching technology, I don't get to use it as much as I would like. But it is something I have used in the past and have found some value with.
But I know you've talked about this before, and that's something that I guess maybe it went in one ear and right out the other ear, or maybe it was at a time when there's 1,000 things going on.
Exactly, and you just have to find it's having that like bag of tricks,
right?
And then being able to go, oh, I remember hearing something about something like this, and being able to pull that out.
Yeah, you know what I wish? I wish there really was a bag, like a physical bag where where everything's right there. Maybe throwing something up in a cloud.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna talk about something maybe in another podcast, but Wakeland is a nice site.
Okay.
Where you can put links up. And it is cloud-based, and multiple people can view it. So that's something I will talk about in another
almost podcast. Like a little virtual bag of tricks.
Yeah,
that's
virtual
a visual
and you can
reminder.
Put them into categories like, hey, ELA category, science and social studies.
Can't wait to
maybe
look into that.
We can even do a Wakelet for teacher nerds. Of all the stuff we've talked about, like our bag of tricks.
Might be a smart idea.
All right. So next one is, and I know you've used this in the past, Newsela.
Love it.
Yeah. Great site.
Website based.
Yep.
Right. Newsela.com.
Yep. And the paid version, compatible with Google Classroom.
And
we have the paid version.
We now have the paid version now. And it's wonderful to use. Like I said, I teach third grade, but their reading levels vary.
Right, and you can switch the reading level on the article.
You can assign different. You can assign the same article to different students at different reading levels.
Yeah. I mean, can't beat that.
It's phenomenal.
You want to talk about differentiation?
Well, it's right there. It's all built in. I use it at home with my son. I use it, in school with the kids, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and current events. I mean, they have a ton of categories.
Events, right? And there's that search bar, so you search, growing plants, and multiple articles come up.
Yeah, and they love
it.
Things are published almost on a daily basis for them, and they separate into categories as well. Arts and culture, science and math, primer. That's the one thing I love. My previous career was as an archaeologist.
Okay.
So primary source documents. Being able to look up those primary source documents and have students read them and discuss just the language that are in some of the primary source documents and why people chose specific language.
Well, I mean, even seeing that, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's cool because one of the topics we cover in social studies are primary sources.
Okay,
so now we have access to primary sources. And again, that's awesome.
Boom, right into the playlist if you want, right?
Well, that's, everything that's going on today. I'm like, ooh, playlist.
And again, we say ELA, but man, social studies, science, it can all go in there. And language arts, that's it. It kind of weaves itself into every subject, right? No doubt. Math,
reading, thinking about it, it's all right there.
Yeah. So the other thing they have is that I like it are famous speeches. So like Steve Jobs' commencement address, which is a real famous speech. Is in there as well, that you can read. And again, they have those free and paid versions. Free version, you can create classes, and they do have the quizzes that you can give at the end.
Yes.
sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't, because I don't always want the students reading because I'm going to be testing you.
Well, when I use it at home with my son, there's times when I will say, you know what, I think you should take the quiz just so I can see.
Right? Did you
number
understand?
one, well,
or did you read it?
Did you read it? But then we started bringing in other avenues of ways he could show he read it. So I agree.
He did Twitter, right? Like
yes,
he was doing stuff on Twitter.
And we want to introduce social media, and I want to be able to show him how to use it in a positive manner. Right. So we did. We opened up a Twitter account for him.
What was it? What was his Twitter?
At DJD Kid Fitness.
Yeah, all right.
And it was great because we would open up Newsela. We would search for different articles on working out or eating healthy, and he would read the article and he would tweet something he learned, and it was always at Newsela or at whoever and whatever.
Tag those people in,
and try and build that brand in a positive way. And it was. I mean, the articles are short.
Yep.
He can sit there. He can get through them in a couple minutes. Yep. They're right there. You go right back to it, and no, it was really it's been a great source.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice plan, and again, we're lucky we have, our curriculum director got us the premium edition this year.
Now, he was using it for free.
Right.
Oh, actually, nope. I'm sorry, because West Hampton Middle School, he has a Newsela account.
So,
yep.
Yeah, so I mean, with that premium edition, you can see how much the student has read or how long they've been on the article. It'll score the quizzes for you, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
They have a new feature, which is you can annotate the article. I just saw this. Create little notes in the article or highlight sections, and you can actually share your annotations with your students to say, hey,
oh wow,
listen up for this paragraph coming up.
And it's shared through Newsela.
Yeah, in Google Classroom, I believe.
Okay.
Or on Newsela's Classroom, the classroom you create in Newsela.
Right, which your students would then join.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And then you can also customize writing prompts if you want to do writing prompts at the end for that paid version.
Awesome.
But definitely something to check out. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
Nothing.
Your next one? I know you won.
No.
You love Google Sites.
I think the kids love Google Sites.
They do, and just I think being able for them saying like, I created a web page,
and not only that, their parents. What do you mean you created a web page?
Yeah.
And just what you're in Newsela. You're getting all this information.
Yep.
What are you going to do with it? And I know I talked in a previous episode about giving a book report in middle school and how boring and drawn out it was, and the fact that I didn't read.
Right. But if you're creating a site, it's a little different.
And it was great because when we were getting through our informational texts, our unit in writing, it's tough for the kids because they don't just want to continue to crank out papers.
Right.
And let's face it, it's boring. So we try and bring in, let's do a comic. Let's do an informational book with a couple of different graphics you can draw out. And the last one, I really wish I didn't tell them about the website before we started the writing.
Oh, because all everybody wanted.
I'm done. Like, you don't have
a website.
You don't have anything. But you know what? Whatever. They had already proven that they could hit these skills on this rubric, and they know how to punctuate.
Right.
And informational writing on the rubric, there has to be direct quotes in there. So it was really cool. But they were just frothing at the mouth. And we've had when we do our Genius Hour and they want to show the world what they know. We've been working with sites since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I really thought it was going to be great information and great sites, and it was going to be perfect. And we actually had to take a step back and go out and look at good websites.
Right.
What does a good website have?
And that's it. A lot of times they say, plan your website out on paper before you even put it up.
We did a little, a box was our homepage, and then we'd have, I guess, a web, this is what's from the homepage. And it's, things can get so out of control.
Yeah.
If there is no web, if there is no map and a start point. So it was a great experience, and they're 8 years old. They're third graders, and they're able to do it.
Yeah.
I know you were pushing Adobe, or you said Adobe is another avenue.
Is another avenue for sites, and they're they look a little different. So you can, as a teacher, take a look, see which one you like.
Right. Well,
which one you think is easier for your students to navigate.
Yeah. Going into next year, I would like to, at the start of next year, have a little better grasp of Adobe.
Right. And maybe we do a podcast on Spark.
Cool.
And do some screencasts about the different features of Adobe Spark. If you follow Monica Burns on Twitter, she's really big. I think she's like an ambassador for Adobe Spark.
Okay, Monica Burns.
Yeah, and we'll put her information in the show notes. But yeah, she does a lot with Adobe Spark, and she actually really hooked me up. I saw her at a conference.
Oh, okay.
And said, hey, I love Adobe Spark, but we are having the most god awful time getting set up where our kids can use it. And she hooked me up with one of the heads of Adobe Spark and said, hey, get an email going with this guy.
Okay.
She introduced us, and sure enough, within about 2 weeks, we had Adobe Spark, able to be up and running.
And what's her name?
Monica Burns.
Burns.
Yeah. So she's definitely a good one to look. Burns.
At Class Tech Tips?
Yep, Class Tech Tips. That's her. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she's a good one to follow.
Followed.
And she has done.
Check.
But yeah, she's a good one to follow for that Adobe Spark.
Awesome.
And the thing is, like, now just hearing you talk about sites, and like you said, both of us, and this is why we're teacher nerds, our brains are going, right? So
Right.
I'm thinking, man, you could really start to app smash here, where you have, all right, I'm going to listen to this, baseball thing in Listenwise. I'm going to read this article from Newsela on baseball. I'm going to now put together a Google site, talking about baseball. Yeah, exactly.
Mind blown.
Or you then bring in one of our favorites.
Oh, geez.
Flipgrid.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
And you can link pieces into Flipgrid. Hey, listen to this article, or listen to this.
Oh, right.
On Flipgrid. Now respond to it. Now pretend you're broadcasting a baseball game.
There we go.
As your Flipgrid, right?
Ooh, and then from the NPR thing, a baseball game performed by girls on the baseball field.
Exactly.
And you know what? They could probably do it because a lot of people have sisters out there. Or even if you don't have sisters,
you've seen a softball game.
I was going to say,
watch a YouTube video, right?
Here we go.
Girls baseball.
So how many different apps is that? I mean, we're counting across the finger here, and I think we're running out of hands.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
And that's a lot of good app smashing.
And all under the umbrella of English language arts.
All under the umbrella of English language arts. And really, all of them you can do for our favorite 4-letter word.
Oh, free. Yep.
Right? As a teacher.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man.
Yeah. Now.
Ron, my head's spinning, man. And we're only what are we, halfway through maybe?
Halfway through.
Okay.
So we've kind of talked about nonfiction. And now I just started playing around with this. I've, and one of the benefits, I guess, from me being a technology teacher and me seeing every 3rd grade class, every 4th grade class, every 5th grade class is, what I did was I said, we're at the end of the year and we're talking about trying things, right? So what I did was I said, hey, this 3rd grade class, I'm going to try this site with and get some feedback. This 4th grade class, I'm going to try the same site with some feedback and see, is it better for 3rd grade? Is it better for 4th grade? I'm going to do the same with 5th grade.
Oh, there we go.
So my new one is BoomWriter. It's not but it's new to me.
Okay.
It's 100% free for teachers. Now there is some paid stuff if districts want to do some things, and you can buy some stuff at the end.
Okay.
But it is a Google for Education partner.
Man, these companies, that's a smart thing, right?
Yeah,
if
right.
you want to push your product out there,
become a partner with
Google for Education.
Google comes to them, I think, to be a partner. Like, so, Google's looking at, hey, you're doing something right here. We want to put our name with it as well.
Right.
Well, and kind of like Flipgrid, right? Microsoft came to them and said, hey, you're doing something right. We want to be involved.
I mean, money makes things happen,
yeah,
right? And when stuff like that happens and they can do it free for us, what's it going to improve? Kids' lives.
Everything's good. Yep.
That's great.
So with BoomWriter, what I started to work with is they have 3 different options in BoomWriter. One is called Storywriter. One's WordWriter. WordWriter is really based on vocabulary.
Okay.
And then Project Writer. And that's I think Project Writer, again, not 100%, but geared more towards nonfiction writing. I started with Storywriter. And what they have is
cool idea, man.
Cool stories started by authors of children's books. And so the author writes the first chapter, or, if you are that creative teacher, you can write your own story starter. Okay. I started off with an author's already done. The students read it, and then they write the next chapter. they continue the story on. You can decide as the teacher how many chapters you want this story to be.
Okay.
I started off with 3. I figured 3 was easy, beginning, middle, end, right?
How do the kids do?
So far, they were into it.
Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
they were chomping at the bit.
Did they know the author?
They didn't know the author, but it was definitely a high interest, and you can pick categories. So if you want the story to be humorous, you can pick humorous stories, and they give you a bunch of story starters that are humorous.
Gotcha.
Science fiction, mystery. I believe there might even be a romance in there.
Oh,
not for me, but it's good for elementary through high school.
Okay.
So you can choose the level of the story to start with as a beginner, intermediate, or advanced.
As an advanced author or a
a more
author.
advanced story, probably more interesting vocabulary or higher level vocabulary and things like that in there. So again, the students finish writing the next chapter, and you can assign a deadline. Hey, it's due by this date.
Okay.
And then once that is done, they then vote on the next chapter. So they get to read, a few of the chapters that have been submitted, and they vote.
That's cool.
BoomWriter, their magical computer people have put together an algorithm that calculates the votes, and they did say not one vote doesn't necessarily mean 1 point.
Okay.
There's an algorithm to it. And then that becomes the next chapter.
That's
so
awesome.
Now students can reread the first chapter, read the second chapter, and now they go and create the third chapter. And again, same process.
So then they're reading still, different versions of that chapter, right? So then they're getting ideas, and that's
exactly, yeah.
Man.
And then once it's all complete, you can publish that story and have it mailed to you as a softback book for your school, or students, parents can buy that book.
That's awesome. That's
as
really
like a memento of that school year or something like that. Pretty cool site.
No, most definitely.
Again, I'm still working through it. It's one that just came up for me. So maybe on another episode we'll kind of pop in and tell how it went.
Yeah, okay, I'd love to hear it.
But
I'm thinking even next year we do personal narratives, and that's not necessarily a personal narrative, but it's still those types of writing skills. And there's times when you want to you want to step away and see if they can use those skills and maybe
in a different genre or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or hey, you finished your personal narrative.
Okay.
It again could go into like a center activity where maybe not everybody in the class is going to get to that, but a good portion gets to it, and then you vote.
No, yeah, and there's always early finishers, and
exactly.
How many times can you ask them to go back and make it better?
Right, and you could even do a story that lasts the entire school year, right? Because you can put as many chapters as you want, so you could, and you would also then be able to see a progression of their writing from the beginning of the year. To how the story ends up, and see how they progressed as writers.
Another good one.
So again, head spinning. One thing that I did notice yesterday when I signed in, they have teamed up with the author of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, nice!
To do some work.
The kids will know him.
Yeah, exactly. So just a definite good site to look at is BoomWriter. Next one I know you've used Storybird. My heart's a little heavy about Storybird. They went from all free to now you get a free trial for 30 days, and then it's paid after that. I understand they got to make money, and they got to do some things, but man, it makes my heart heavy because I love that site.
Yeah. We've used it a couple years. And did we have a subscription one year?
No, that was Storyboard. That was a different site. So
you're right.
Storybird is nice. It's you create stories inspired by artwork. So they see some kind of artwork, and they can write a long chapter book, a short story book.
Yeah.
Now they have comic, poetry, a picture book.
Oh wow. See, and I thought everything before was very comic-y, like the pictures that they had up there, cartoony, or maybe it was
some
just
serious ones. In there as well. And they can read each other's work and kind of give each other like feedback. But again, unfortunately, it did go to full paid. But if it's something you want to look into, I think it's like a little over $100 a year. But again, that gets pricey for teachers.
Oh, most
if every subscription that I had that I wanted, I had, I'd be a few $1,000s in debt, I think.
Right.
And there are some cool features because it gives students rewards for coming back and writing daily. Like they earn these little coins. But again, it's something maybe to check out. Try the free trial, and then see if it's something that you're more interested in.
If you would pay, or if your district would
Yeah.
help you out.
Yeah. So I mean, there were just a few of the things that I think people should at least give a look at, give a listen to, give a try.
I can't wait. I'm definitely looking into BoomWriter. We currently use Newsela, but then
the Listenwise and sites and apps smashing them together,
putting
right?
them all together, yeah.
Flipgrid next year with you got the Chromebooks coming down to third grade with the cameras, and I mean,
John Klein just threw out something on Twitter this morning about
John, and he's WeVideo, right?
He's WeVideo, and talking about, hey, you can use or I think his post was something about you can't use a Chromebook to create a video, and there's this little girl like doing this amazing thing. Yeah. So my retweet was, yes, can't wait till next year we get Chromebooks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be exciting.
But and there's another one, right?
We
read something, make a video about it, make something, create a commercial for it.
There's so much you can do.
Yeah.
And once again, WeVideo, it's free.
Right.
There's limitations to the free account, but there's still,
it's 5 minutes at its shot. Some of the bells and whistles are gone, but
still, it's you get your feet wet.
Yeah.
And
kids get into editing and video editing,
and they love it.
They want to be a YouTuber, right? Like,
right. Who would? That's the way the world's working now.
Right.
They always say, don't get a job, become a travel person or, and blog about it.
Yeah, right. Do something that you love and see if you can.
And see if you can share that with the world and get paid to do it.
Yep, absolutely.
So why not start them young, right?
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll wrap up this episode.
Cool.
This one, I feel like, flew by. I mean, there was...
Why? What are we at?
We're at like 30, 32, 33 minutes. Like, it went by like nothing.
That's crazy.
All right. So I'm Ron Nober.
I'm Joe DiPaolo.
And we are the Teacher Nerds. Hey, check us out on teachernerds.com, and that's nerds with a Z. # Teacher Nerds on Twitter. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Man.